Hey everybody, let's talk about residue or respect. Okay, so when you're dealing with certain people and they might do something that rubs you the wrong way, or they say something that may be relatable to something that you may have, a past experience with, or they're just, you know, what they're talking about is just super scary. You don't want to go back down that road, whatever the case may be, whatever type of relationship it is, whatever, right? Is it stemming from residue that has been deposited from your past experiences? Or is it, just something that just is a pet peeve, whatever it is, right? So then the question is, do you just completely not have the conversation that you need to have with that person and let them know, hey, this is how this is making me feel. This is a little, I'm having a little deja vu here. I think it's time for me to go and part ways, or we're going to have that conversation, or are we just going to disappear? Okay. So is it, is it residue, or is it respect for yourself, whether or not you had that conversation and part separate yourself, right? So okay, so it really is, it's really not ghosting per se. I think that's just silly, because ghosting to me is just really irresponsible, and it shows inaccountability for anything, whether the situation, yourself, the situation in hand. Although sometimes you need to respect yourself enough to separate yourself in light of the situation, or in just in light of your boundaries and what how you feel about the situation. If they want to call that ghosting, that's fine. But you do not owe anyone an explanation, uh, unless you want to, mind you, of really anything. You don't owe anybody explanation. 9 times out of 10, people know what they do, but that 1%, that 10, sometimes they don't know, and it's just what they're used to. But in turn of that, I'll come back with this: if you're not healed, if you're not ready, if you have not had them difficult conversations with yourself, if you have not put the work in for into yourself and really reflected and just really looked into your heart posture and how you want him. If you have not done that, leave people alone. Leave people alone. Because I don't think that it's fair to those that have made themselves vulnerable again and have opened up themselves again to allow people in their space that have done the work and that have really, really have done a really good job for themselves. Have come from dark places, that have actually started to love themselves again, or have built up that self confidence again. Because I feel like those people are the best people to have in your life. And I believe that those people, you should feel privileged to be in their circle, because people that have been through their darkest times, that have been through the most horrible experiences, and have just for been through hell. It is so uh it should be a privilege, because they don't have to do that. They could be so closed off And they could just be, man, but if somebody that's been through so much allows you in their space, you should feel that that is an honor and a privilege, because for them to have that much compassion and love and understanding and kindness after all they've been through, you should you should really feel good that you are even chosen to be in their circle. And if you're not ready, then you need to step away, try again, have that difficult conversation, be like, you know what, I'm not ready. Let me get myself right, and then we can revisit this. Because I think it's so detrimental to people's healing when you bother them after they have done all that work, and you bother them, and then a little part of that healing that they've worked so hard for, uh, that makes them, it diminishes that a little bit, and it makes them revert back into into habits that they're trying to break free of. Ooh, okay, somebody needed that. And it's just, it's not fair to them, right? Because they're healing and they're trying, they went through that journey. Healing is not, healing is permanent to a certain extent. It's semi-permanent because we can all, right, revert back. But it's your perspective and your choice to do so, whether or not that's what you want to do. But my thing is, do we do we allow the residue of what we've healed from pour, put that skim over whatever relationship that we have developed? Do we allow that? And then in turn, do we give a chance? Do we express how we feel? Do we have that conversation? Or out of respect for ourselves, do we just separate ourselves? Because me, I feel, well, I haven't done it the right way. I don't, me, what the young folks say, my block game is strong, okay? And see, I've grown. I can see my growth, I tell you, because before you do something that I don't like and I'm like, I ain't feeling it, I just make myself unavailable. I no longer exist in your world because I feel like you, if if now this is too, granted, if you know each other enough to know, okay, this person has been here and I'm not about to take them there, or I'm not about to take them back, that makes a difference too. But if we on a connection, we have a certain connection to where you know what you're doing. Of course, I know common sense ain't common, but if you know what you're doing, then you don't um, owe anybody the explanation. But I am working on it. I am working on it, and everybody has their own way of doing things, right? But I've learned in my growth that I have to step back and say, you know what, this is not working for me. You said this, you did this, your actions spoke this loud to me, and this is not something that I'm going to accept. Now, I have what I say, I have what I'm not, what I am and what I'm not going to accept, and then I have my non-negotiables. And once, and if I express to you my non-negotiables and you do it anyway, it's a wrap. Like that conversation, we don't even have to have. I just separate myself, right? So just, I don't know. Is this a rant? I don't think it is. I'm just so strong about this. Don't bother people that are either in their healing journey or have healed. And if you aren't healed or aren't actively healing or are trying to not go back or resort back or revert back, don't mess with people that are working, either got it together or working on getting it together. because you are going, that is so detrimental to people. If you know you're not ready, leave them alone. Okay. So then it's like, okay, so am I separating myself out of respect for myself? Or is this residue from past experiences? So are you going to let residue uh, be detrimental in your circles, in your relationships? Uh, or out of respect, are you going to have those conversations or not in skedaddle? Simple as that. And in the meantime, if you don't have that way of thinking and your perspective is just skewed and you just don't have, you ain't got to just leave people alone in the process. Wait till you get it together. Okay. A lot of times, uh, like I was saying about seasons, a lot of times people let their past bleed through. And sometimes we look at that wrong. We're like, oh my gosh, no. Okay. You have to have that hard no and say either are you ready or are you utilizing me as a helper? Because I think we're in a generation now where we need to meet me where I'm at type situation, right? So just remember, is it residue or is it respect? Whether or not you want to accept things, conversate about it, or just separate yourself. Are you allowing your past experience to bleed over into your present and even your future? Think about that, y'all. All right, y'all have a good day.